the way that you wrote Doorway to Artistry. It's like as you
Okay.
write it and I'm reading it, I'm like, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Phew.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's.
The whole time I'm reading, I'm like, yes. Right. I forgot that. Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, I'm so happy.
And
That's wonderful to know.
oh yeah. Yeah, I love it. I've
I,
told so many people
you
about it.
know, I haven't had that many people talk to me about what it was like to read the book. And so I am still in the stage of not a whole lot of confidence of about the viability of the endeavor. So thank you.
Oh yeah. I'll call you up every once in a while and be like, "Hey, look, I love the
Yeah,
book. It's great.
yeah,
I got
please.
re-inspired today." Uh,
Good.
but I think because I've sought out a lot of metaphysical understanding about reality, and so when I hear it in your words in such a welcoming and like non-academic way, I'm like,
Hmm.
dang, this is so great. And every time I read it, I want to
Oh,
give it
glad.
to a younger creative person.
Oh, neat. That's great. I don't talk about God a lot in the book because
Hmm.
that's the kind of person I want to
Yeah,
reach,
yeah,
and heal
right.
in a way that then uh, opens them to the reality of God. I really do feel, because it's kind of my shtick, that artists and creatives are damaged
Yeah.
by modernity.
Hmm.
And I would say, and so I want to ask, I guess, lots of artistry is destructive.
Yeah,
And it's like you can't be artistic if you're not wretched.
yeah.
And that can't be.
Just I don't know where the joy is there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Joy is way better for artistry, I would say. Is
yeah.
that the case? Love of the real. I mean,
Yes,
here's what we were made for.
yes,
We were made to love the real.
yes.
And the real is things and the God who says yes to them. It's just,
Right.
that's like one big package beyond me. Well, I'm a thing too, but and we're in my metaphysics of childhood,
Right.
that's really our default as a baby,
Hmm.
and our kind of our natural exuberance and affirmation. The soul's fundamental relation to the world is affirmation and joy and being. That's the line I keep quoting in Doorway to Artistry. That exuberance has got to be creatively productive. That this even sounds like Nietzsche.
Well, I mean, it's fascinating that a lot of artists don't seek out any philosophical growth or education.
Well, and they distrust reality like
Yeah.
everybody else in modernity, right?
Right.
So artistry would be all stuck in here,
Hmm.
right? And not a communion with the real, even though in under their very gaze they are loving their materials.
Right.
That's what it just seems to me. This the that a creative just loves the feel of what they're working with.
Yeah.
And maybe it doesn't work quite that way, but I
No.
mean, you probably love, cutting and splicing and framing and shots and
Yeah.
moving the camera and all that stuff is the materials, I would guess, of film, and it's utterly delightful.
Yeah. And then like reorienting yourself towards viewing those things as gift.
Yes, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the eventual, the overture of reality in the first place
Hmm.
is gracious gift. Something catches your your attention, your notice. That's reality speaking to you. What I'm trying to do in Doorway to Artistry, that we in a I guess what I'm trying to do with metaphysics is restore us to astonishment at existence.
Yeah.
And as a Christian believer, I think we need a kind of a stronger doctrine of creation that way. I mean, the most astounding thing about you is you're here.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
exist, because you might not be.
Yeah.
And so then I think, as you're right, that idea of everyday jewels of the
Right.
real, the things that glinting their truth, goodness, and beauty, that should be stunning. And I have felt like if you can kind of get your doctrine of things right, it has to open up. It's like, where does this come from?
Yeah.
If something might not exist, aren't you interested in why it does?
Right.
And isn't that it's the splendor, the overflowing splendor that just seems to say, okay, I need to start to think this is Christmas morning.
Yeah. I love
This
that.
is for you. This is for you. So who's out there
Right. Yeah.
showering me with gifts?